Hello everybody, welcome to yet another episode 7 now, of Beast Needle Zero. Two things. First of all, my preview level is up to 0 out of 552. I'm getting closer and closer to beating the actual level, meaning this level will stop existing soon. Just saying. Second of all, oh wait, Pipe 1s? Who the needs those? I wanted to make this a little ceremonial, at least. There we go. Nice and concise. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The text is so much bigger now. I've got Skittles that I'll be munching on. Perhaps the Rainbow TM will help me along. I told you it took less than 15 minutes. And I already have a mythical Pipe 1 in addition to it. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do actually feel a selfish need for, like validation that the level is actually as hard as I think it is. So I'm kind of like hoping to struggle a lot. But I already have enough validation, honestly, because the preview level is 0 out of 552. That's plenty of validation already. That's just the first section of the level. So I know this level is extremely difficult. Now the prevailing feeling for me is, let's beat this before September 11th. Ah. Very nice early run. Cool. Well, I'm gonna redesign it, of course. At least the last part. I thought I might have overgone there. Oh god. Pipe 4! Let's go! Ah! We just started, too! We just started. I felt so much less nervous on that section now that I you know, played it just a few minutes ago on camera. That makes so much psychological difference. And I've learned from VVVVV that psychological differences are things you need to take into account. There's the one jump in the entire level that's actually easier than it looks. Can't believe I made it past that. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's Yatanai. In hiragana. Do I hear floodgates? Pipe 4. Oh my goodness. You idiot! That's not how that jump works! I'm completely overcomplicating it, too. That was a total unforced error. That's another pipe 4 now. Figures, I get rid of pipe 1s, and all of a sudden I'm just shifting everything over one side and filling in everything just as frequently. That jump that I just died to is basically just this, though. I really didn't need to get all fancy. If I can get 2 pipe 4s that quickly, I'm more confident than ever that I can beat this before September 11th. Because if I can seriously end up with like 6, 7, 8 cracks at the last 2 sections per stream, I can probably work with that. That's probably enough that I can beat this level in like certainly less than 10 streams from now. Normally I would be chatting a little more liberally, but the fact that I've got pipe 4s already just kind of makes me want to quietly cook more. Although, this is what I'm cooking now, so maybe I should come up with something to talk about. Wish GIA could see me now. He was complimenting my abilities long before I was pumping out runs like this. At least long before I was regularly doing that. How have I gotten that good at the on-off jump? That's possibly the hardest jump in the level. Whoa. Whoa. Don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. Hey. Make sure to get it when it's going left. Just careful. Oh! Pipe 4! Too early. What the heck happened? We're 47 minutes into the stream. And we have 3 pipe 4s! 3! We're not even a third of the way through this stream. We're on pace for like 11 pipe 4s. I could beat the level today for all we know. I never imagined I'd beat it today, but at this rate, we might. Did I forget the boss again? Oh my gosh. I'm so excited over these pipe 4s that I'm just completely forgetting my own bot games. I'm absolutely cooking in uncharted territory. I'm glad Dank Dragon is here so that we actually have bot games. Oysters? Wait, meatballs come from oysters? And aren't they supposed to be sea creatures? Aren't the Rocky Mountains about as far from the ocean as you can get in the United States? Oh, they're just... It's just a huge misnomer, in other words. English is the language of misnomers. I am a fan of Denver the city. I have stayed there for a short time. Bowls. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm not much of a culinary person. I do, however, know that Patrick Star loves fried oyster skins. Oh. And they're edible. What do you know? Great. I'm glad other people way before our time were so adventurous with their meat gathering that they discovered such things are edible. And won't give you a disease every time. I'm probably going to include that in the YouTube compilation just to be fair to Nukem. Already clipped his small brain moment, I might as well clip mine. I really was not expecting to feel like I could beat the level today. But we are here. What? Oh my gosh. Well, you can't be getting past section 4 that often. It is the hardest section of the entire level. No. Nukem, you may not have been part of the Trials of Death grind, but if Brayden were here, he would bonk you for that. Cheering for Yatanais is no good. Might as well just cheer for the Chargers, because that's all they ever do. Type 3. Ah! That jump is tough. Okay, hold on a second. Got somebody at the door. And now's a good time for a stretch break anyway, so... be right back. I can probably count on my hands the amount of times that our doorbell has been rung by somebody else since we moved here. That was actually pest control, who are just kind of like going through the neighborhood and checking in with us. Problem being, Beba and my uncle just left to go to Walmart, so I told them as such, and they'll be back in like an hour 30. Where hopefully they'll be back and we can get that done. So that might throw a bit of a wrench in Beast Needle Zero plans. What? Oh, I just got completely sniped. I forgot that attempt was still going. I forgot that I was still alive in that attempt. Because, like, that's probably the first time I've ever paused it in the middle of an attempt for any length of time. So yeah, if pest control does come back before we get to 33 hours, I don't know how that's going to affect the stream. The last, like, half hour of it, I might still play it, but I'll play it, like, with my microphone and face cam muted. If I don't know what all they're gonna do. I think they're just inspecting. But if they need to inspect my room, then obviously I'll have to stop for some time. Something in my eye. It was piranha! Piranha skin in my eye. Jars of pineapple in my fridge, pickling in a jar of coconut water. I just pulled them out in a vase. A combination of sweet and tangy. Good for you. And that just completely, out of the blue, reminded me that I never actually watched it, but I learned that there was a fairly short-lived cartoon called Coconut Fred, which even one of the people who worked on the show flat out said that it was a rip-off of SpongeBob. Coconut Fred Fruit Salad Island, I think, was the full name of it. And it definitely must have failed because it aired when I would have absolutely been within that target demographic, and I definitely don't remember ever seeing it. Or hearing any of my friends talk about it. Well, we are all, of course, still talking about SpongeBob to this very day. People of all ages. There certainly has been a more active chat than most. Ah! You know what? I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for this bull. You might not be robots, but you sure as heck are trolls. Who are just as unwelcome here. And just as completely pointless to the world, I might add. Obviously, we got 3 Pipe 4s. The fact that I haven't had one in over half an hour is not even that. It doesn't even bother me that much. I'm amazed that I have 3 in one stream after having 0 for 30 hours. I will definitely have to take another break momentarily as soon as Beba and Uncle come home. First of all, I gotta help them bring stuff in from Walmart. And second of all, I need to inform them of what's going on. If I do actually have to like stop it around the 32-hour mark, I won't be too disappointed if I have to go 2-4-4 instead of 3-3-4. I might actually do that just to be on the safe side. This has already been a great a great session / stream. Like, mission's already accomplished for the day. So I just gotta remember to set aside an extra hour twice in a row. Hello once again. Sorry to have kept you waiting due to real life, but we appear to be good now. Alright, let's check in again with the preview level, which is now standing at 0 for 757. Oh yeah. I have more than enough proof now that indeed this level is as hard as I think it is. Alright. Actually, it must be said, though, before we go on, to those who are actually, honest to God, trying, this is a lot more than I thought this level would get. I thought that the preview level, you know, if I'm lucky, I'd get, like, maybe one dedicated person to try it for a while, and the rest would just give up after 3 tries or 2 tries. But the fact that the average person is attempting this level 31 times, you know, shout-outs to all you guys. Thank you. It means a lot to me that people are actually trying to beat this level. I need this. It's been a few days. Yay! We beat the level in fake. That's worthy of a peppermint candy. Okay, well I only wasted 27 minutes. Good thing today's a 4-hour session. Oh, welcome. Welcome, Mr. Newcomb. I am terrible at this game. You actually haven't missed jack. I just now started real attempts. It took me 27 minutes just to get through practice. Told you I was comfortable with the early parts of the level. That's the preview level already beaten. Well, the show is just about to begin. Type 3. First half is nothing. I shouldn't say that. But first half... Hello. Hey, GIA! Thank you so much for the raid. Ah. Good timing. I just finished all the practice runs, and the real runs are starting out quite encouragingly. Yet another Pipe 3 inside 5 minutes of starting real runs. Thank you. I might not be very patient with little kids, but I can be very patient with tasks. I've got great patience when dealing with tasks. Not so much with humans, but that's why I have a degree in geology after spending 9 years in college. I think everything that got me a degree is helping me out here too. Pipe 3 again. ADHD. I'm not too far off, actually. I've got Asperger's syndrome. Oh, man, same pixel and everything. I feel like what it does to me is, like, I'm terrible at multitasking. I get locked into analysis paralysis all the time. Whenever I got more than one thing to do, I just sit on my butt and wait and decide which one I should do. And I end up, like, wasting an hour just trying to decide what to do. But once I'm, like, all in on something, I can focus pretty well. Well, we're getting through the preview level very frequently. Ah. Well, we're racking up pipes early. Never a bad thing. If you want me to make an easy level, you're definitely asking the wrong guy. Oh boy, we're already doing that. My thumb just completely airballing the jump button on those small, tight hops. Gonna be a spotty and inconsistent day, probably. I hope I'm wrong. Well, I hope I'm wrong and that I'm consistently good. I don't want to be wrong and be consistently bad. Okay. I still get the picture. Pipe 3. Every Pipe 3 so far has been really crappy. Which is kind of the antithesis of why I'm doing all these practice runs to start the stream. So I'm a little upset. And we're already up to 33 hours. Speaking of sports, every time a new hour mark comes off, I think of the that one Wimbledon match between Nicholas Mahut and John Isner that literally went 3 different days on the calendar. And how the crowd just kept on giving standing ovation after standing ovation as they kept tying over and over and over and over again. Cheering them both on. Wondering just how long this could possibly go, and the answer is yes. And I'm picturing that Wimbledon crowd giving a standing ovation every time I get past a new hour mark on Beast Needle 0. They're cheering both the level and how steadfast it is in the face of my resistance and me trying to beat it. But I mean, you gotta cheer the level too. Because obviously, on the average, I'm gonna be getting better and better with each passing hour. But the level's winning so far. At least, like, everything up to the first pipe is an absolute cinch for me today. I am off today. I definitely feel it. But, I mean, I gotta keep going. For the first time in a long time, me taking time off of playing a game is actually negatively affecting me. Like it's supposed to. The only way I'm going to improve is if I just power through it and just get out of it what I can. They all suck today. All these pipe 3s are terrible. We're deep enough into the grind now that there's a huge difference between, you know, how I feel after an early pipe 3 and a late pipe 3. Dude. Piece of garbage. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Oh, I'm so bad. I think you might have a problem. Of course, we all know I have a problem. I'm addicted to VTubers. I also build insanely hard Super Mario Brothers levels instead of actually, you know, trying to find a real thing to do with my life. It's just a fact of life. Come on! Can we get a little further? Oh, come on! What the f was the point of all that practice if that's what I'm going to do every time I get that far? What the f? Oh my god. What? Why? V strats! You betrayed me! That's not the strats' fault. I'm just bad today. Just gotta face facts. I've got 2 hours and 41 minutes, however, to retrieve it. Whatever it may be. Because this is... I don't want to say embarrassing, because I'm still getting past the first half of the level regularly, which is always good, but it's very discouraging. At the very least, I can get there regularly still. I mean, we know beyond any shadow of a doubt now that the first half does not need any work. I'm totally good with that. I am not honestly more consistent with the first half than I ever thought I would be. Oh my god! And we now interrupt these Beast Needle Zero attempts for this Metroid Brain Rot. Castle Crashers 2. That would have to be some kind of record for for longest span between sequels. At least in the video games. There may have been a longer one in actually I can already think of one in films. Because there was a sequel to the Rankin Bass Rudolph made all the way in 2001. Wait, what am I even talking about? Metroid Prime 4 is coming out in 2025. 3 came out in 07. So that's 18 years right there. How could I not think of that immediately? Granted, of course, there have been a couple other Metroid games since, Other M and Dread. But they're not direct continuations of the Metroid Prime storyline. Now, I've not played Other M, but I know that Dread doesn't really directly reference anything that happened in the Prime games. So, far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much... I think it's fair to say that Prime 4 is the only true sequel to Prime 3. Again, I don't know about other M. There was also, of course, Metroid, the Samus Returns remake on 3DS, but that's a remake. That doesn't count. This is a remake of Metroid 2. It is a very good remake, as far as I'm aware, but... the only game it's a sequel to is Zero Mission, because that's the remake of Metroid 1. I know a lot of fans have been wondering if there'd be a Super Metroid remake in the future. It doesn't need one! But I mean, they're welcome to do it. They probably will soon, anyway. But my very first video game ever will always be near and dear to my heart. I don't care how good the remake is, because I'm sure it will be. Although, wait, if we're going... wait! I just realized something else. Metroid Dread itself is a direct sequel to Metroid Fusion, which was released in 2002. Dread came out, I believe, in 2021, so that's a 19-year gap right there. Metroid's been keeping its fans waiting for eons. But it's always worth it. We love you, Metroid. Once again, if Mario Maker 3 has a Samus Aran suit to go along with the Link suit, I will marry my Nintendo console, whatever they end up calling it. Because I'm assuming it would come out in the new one. If they let me play as Samus, I would just be like, no. I already worship Jesus. I don't want to be worshiping Nintendo as well. I'm supposed to be monotheistic. I would just be very, 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 very grateful to them. That was horrendous. What kind of timing was that? I don't think I've ever had timing that bad on that jump. And that was attempt number 4,940. Maybe all this talk about Metroid is making me want to play Metroid. Did I mention Metroid is good? I mean, I'm not even being a shrimp for Samus. I'm a shrimp for the games themselves. There actually aren't that many shrimps for Samus, I don't think. Because they shrimp for the games themselves. They're that good. Well, if you do that, then I'm just gonna leave the stream running and you won't see me play Beast Needle Zero for a while. It'll just me sleeping on my chair, which will actually lead to a strike against my channel. Don't you want to see me play Beast Needle Zero? Even if I'm not that good at it today? It's been a while. Were you lonely without me? I was lonely without you. Oh god, shut up, dude. Playing the parasocial card on Beast Needle Zero. Shut up, Vegeta Fan 3. Thank you for watching the Metroid Brain Rot. Regularly scheduled Beast Needle Zero attempts will now begin shortly. Thanks, I love BEM. I'm not playing very hype. I've had a handful of Pipe 3s, but they've all sucked. That's despite my on-camera practice. I think this is the first time in a very long time that time away from a video game actually caused me to rust. Normally I just time skip my way through it, but it's not happening today. That being said, if I am rusty, then we gotta see the rest of the session through, because otherwise, next session is gonna be just as bad. Really? Why Ronald W. has been letting me through all day, and now even he's getting in on the act. Pipe 2! I'm going to collect this. Maybe that'll make me suck less in the next few hours. Ah! 34 hours! Wait, that's an 8, right? Yeah. Give it up for hour 35! Woohoo! Hour 35! Wait, am I suddenly playing competent again? Like, for no reason? Just all of a sudden the switch just flipped back to good. I didn't even die within 5 seconds of saying that. That's very rare. That mushroom actually worked. Hooray for the placebo effect! I died on the exact same pixel! 5,000! $5,000!
Now every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot!
Also, they're representing the entire Bay Area, so it's different. Hey, that one particular spike... Can we have a talk outside, real quick? Just you and me? Wait, what the f am I saying? What chance do I have to beat up a literal spike? I mean, what can I possibly gain out of talking to a literal spike outside? Just talking, you know, just a talk. I stand to gain nothing out of this, if not gain negative things out of that. This time it's the grinder. That was a bad setup either way. Probably should have been a little more patient. I didn't have to be patient. I just needed to go on the other side of the spike top. It's not that hard. Finally managed to stabilize myself a bit. This is such an exciting stream. I'm glad you're all here. Finally! It's just that you need the right conditions for it to actually be a liquid. Which only Earth possesses on the surface. Ah! In our solar system, anyway. I cannot get past the first couple of jumps of Section 4 today to save my life. Why? Why have I regressed so much at this? You see my 3 pipe 4s, don't you? That they're not a lie. I did those in 47 minutes last time I streamed. Where did they go? Why can't I do that anymore? Again, I just gotta see it through. This is probably just Rust doing what it's supposed to do. Which is very rare for me. But I guess it happens. I gotta see it through. I gotta just keep getting the reps in. Whereas now psychologically I'm kind of up against a wall because I'm expecting to fail every time I get into Section 4. Damn it all! I even stopped to collect myself, and I still put up a piss-poor jump there. Heck. Oh man, every part of this level's in my head. An hour and 16 left. You know, any faint hopes for randomly coming back to life or fast receding. This is probably what Tiger Woods feels like. When do I get good again? Let me just get to the part where I'm good. That's not how it works. For the YouTube audience, that's how it can work. Not for me, though. Not the guy actually playing the level. I can't wait for this stream to be over. I'm not going to call it an hour short. I need to make sure that we're back on schedule. I haven't even so much as entered the first door of Section 4 in a real run today. This is ugly. Obviously, I flipped the switch back to off. You know, I hate to have the attitude of I can't wait until this stream is over because it feels like I'm already throwing in the towel. I gotta believe that I can turn it back on at any given moment. Like maybe here. Type 3. Of course not! Way to hype yourself up over nothing. That spike. That spike in particular. Oh my god, not again with this crap. Of course, I'm not getting rid of that spike. Once you've already passed a certain section in a real run, you know, why the would you ever nerf it, right? You don't need to. You already know you can get past it. Heck. Oh. I'm not okay. Oh, you're learning well from Chain Chomp Braden, aren't you? Do my best for you. This run is brought to you by Zippity Zoot. Ugh. Airball again. This is annoying. Just keep waiting in vain for any of these runs to turn into something good. Oh my god, what was that? I feel like a golfer who's just like started out a major championship with rounds of 66 and 67, and I'm just like in the middle of missing pretty much every putt en route to a 76. I'm so bad. can't believe I made it over that piranha plant. At least I'm starting to run better slightly.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
What are you doing? This thumb! It was that thing where my thumb just absolutely, positively refused to follow through with the instinct to hit the B button because it was a short hop. So I just ran straight into the spike. Careening full speed ahead into the spike. Without ever actually touching the jump button. Because that's just the kind of day I'm having. I just flat out missed the button. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That is the kind of day I'm having. A bad one. 47 minutes last time. I got 3 pipe 4s. And here in 4 hours, we're not going to get any of them. We're not even going to get close. We're not even going to get close. I feel like this. I'm playing about as well as I did for my 13 to 16 hour stream. Except this is 32 to 36 hours. What the hell?
What the hell?
I'm dying to that now? When was the last time I died to that? I think that's a new one. 5,269 deaths in. I'm finding new ones. I mean, that's kind of a given because, you know, I haven't been to the final section yet, but still. Okay. Well, thank you for coming.
Congrats on 36 hours. Now only 3,693 more attempts to go. Oh, 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 oh.
Thank you, Zippity. Ooh, barely. Okay. We beat the level in fake. Hey, I wasted 27 minutes last time. That's an improvement. I am not confident. Not dignifying that. Okay, real attempts. Pipe 2. Pipe 3. I'm not full of the first half is easy. And we just beat every single run yesterday already. I told you this is where clan vision gets serious. Ah! Alright. 80 pipe 3s. P-switch section. Freaking P-switch section. The P-switch section. That was a very important run. The P-switch section still hasn't been mastered yet, but in less than 5 minutes, I eclipse all of last time's pipe 3s in a single bound. That was a really, really big run. Last stream closed the floodgates pretty firmly. Maybe we can break those doors down one more time. Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm not an idiot. I'm an idiot! I will never remember to check the delay of desktop audio before a stream. I will never remember to do that. Even though I did last time. So every sensor that I've used so far has been doubled because I'm stupid and I don't check my stuff. And I don't care about my craft. I deserve that Ronald W and every Ronald W to come. I think this is the most negativity I've ever shown while playing Beast Needle Zero, and we're only half an hour into the grind today. We have 3.5 hours to go. I'm already this down. Alright. Let's find out just how big that run was. Of course, that won't just be on this run, it'll be every one after that, until we get to 40 hours, of course. But hey, another pipe 3. Hello. And that's another run that's better than anything I did last time. That was a big run, guys. That was a really big run. Oh, come on! I had it! I had it and I was holding up and everything! I don't know what I did wrong that time. The game just doesn't like me. I'm being too negative, okay? Maybe that's it. Maybe the game just wants me to put on a big old smiley face. Yeah! Or no. If you're gonna beat me, I'm gonna beat you first, and you're gonna like it. Yes, Beast Needle Zero. Yes, I will. I already have for 36.5 hours. That's 3 times as long as I spent the first time on getting over it with Bennett Foddy. And he already said, you know, right before the hardest part of the entire game, I guess you don't hate it if you got this far. Feeling frustrated. It's underrated. This level's hard. Oh wait, I didn't check in with the preview level. Hold on, give me a this'll at least give me a brief distraction. How's the preview level doing? Oh! 0 out of 813. Slowly but surely moving its way up. And again, the people who are playing it are generally actually trying. Like, it doesn't move up by 1 or 2. It always moves up by, like, at least 10 every time I check it. I think it moved up by 20 this time. From maybe 2 different people. So, 10 each. Alright, I just gotta go ahead and call a spade a spade. Section 4 is a difficulty spike. Not that the rest of the level before or after it isn't very difficult. But Section 4 is, without a doubt at all, where it peaks. But 5 will still make you stop and think for a little while, and then 6, like I said, I feel like that's a really good way to close out a gauntlet of a level like this. on the one hand, I'm glad that those 3 pipe 4s that I got before, like between the 30 and 31 hours, I'm glad that wasn't representative for how the rest of the grind was going to go, because then it would feel maybe just a tad too easy for my liking, for what I had in mind for this level. On the other hand, I don't like to be so frustrated as I was last section. So I'm definitely want to kick this level's butt now. If I can just get a hold of that P-switch section. The short hops. I'm glad I have those in. Those are really good tests for precision as well. This level gives you a little bit of everything except for letter-based precision. I already gave you more than enough of that in My Name's Not. Now that level only took me 6 hours to beat. 6 hours is nothing compared to this. The last stream was just such a gut punch. Because I really thought that there was a slight chance I might actually beat the level. But shoutouts to Ruyarin, because I rated him last time and lamented about why that was the case, and he and his community all kind of commiserated with me and saying, you know what, that's usually how it works. As soon as you start psyching yourself up, you're just setting yourself up for a terrible session. You never want to get too high before the stream. It's like I said, Section 4 is a spike. I have to face facts. It's a spike. But that doesn't mean the rest of the level isn't hard too. And I feel like that's a good place for it to spike, so that, okay, you've been through the worst of it, now you gotta finish it off. That almost adds more pressure to the last 2 sections, because you know you're just beating the toughest part, but can you beat the rest of it to actually get your W? Like, I'm just so used to making levels that have obvious flaws to them, that when I play this, I actually kind of forget that I made it. It actually feels good to go through these obstacles. Like, I almost forget that it's me trying to upload it rather than trying to get first clear or world record or just beat some other person's level. Because this feels like I would expect from other people who are better at making levels than I am. Yeah, my ego is doing some kind of loop-de-loop right now. My ego is like on a Mobius strip today. My death count is starting to look like starting fields for World Series of Poker main events. Woohoo! 3 in a row I get through that bottom section. 3 in a row we get through the on-off jump. 3 in a row we hit the P-switch. 3 in a row we fail at this, probably. Yep! At least I'm inconsistent. Okay, Mario lives. Woo. You know what? Doing this level has given me a newfound appreciation, not just for Chain Jump Braden in general, because, like, duh, of course, but his memory for how he died. Because, like, over the course of his hundreds upon hundreds of streams of Trials of Death, you know, there'd be a funky death where me and the rest of the chat would be like, "Oh my god, I don't know about that one. Is that a new death?" And he'll be like, "Nah, I've done that before." Like, instantly, he'll remember that he's died like that before. I can barely remember whether or not I've died at a specific place here just 37 hours in. He didn't even start streaming until he was like 400 hours in. On a much easier version of the level than what he ended up finally creating. I think my thumb slipped off the D-pad. Like, the one frame that I was actually in front of the door, I slipped off, and then I put it back on and it was too late. Oh my god. I told you. This part is in my head. I can't help it. I did that absolutely perfectly. I just slipped off the D-pad. For like a tenth of a second, but it was the tenth of a second I needed to be on it. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I would not recommend that death to any of my friends. Actually, it wasn't even a death. I just restarted. I like to believe that when that happens, when he just fails the P-switch door, he just waits there and calls an emergency helicopter to pick him up. You know what? I'm almost glad that I died early just so I don't have to die to the stupid P-switch section again. Look what this level's doing to me! I'm happy with a worse death! Because I'm so tired of the same one over and over again. Oh, Beast Needle Zero, I definitely need a break from you. It's coming, but first we've got to get that hour count to a nice round 40. A nice, plump 40. So far, so goo. I walked off the edge of the block. I want to make something perfectly clear here, okay? That's not that hard. That door entry isn't quite as hard as I'm making it look. It's just in my head. Inescapable. I don't think it's easy, but it's not that difficult. It's just the one thing that for some reason I can't get past right now. It happens all the time. I made this level! Why is it messing with my head? It shouldn't mess with my head if I made it! This is the life of a video game grinder. Or a video game masochist, rather. Number sign, just masochist things. In a cute, cursive, girly font. I didn't think I'd make that one. First half is easy. Heck! New one! I've done that in practice before, but never a real run. That's a new one. Hey, I love BEM! Welcome to Wario Kart! Thank you. This is still less rage-inducing than Mario Kart. Or Wario Kart, if that were a thing. At least losing is going to be your fault way more often than not. Unlike Mario Kart. You can lead the entire race and then just like some little in 11th place decides, hey, you know what? Now's a good time to release my blue shell. It's not gonna do jack for me. I'm still in 11th place. But whoever's in first place is gonna have a really fun time. Neat. Ew. I've done that before, but still ew. I feel like my sessions are getting more and more inconsistent. Like, the gap between the worst runs and the best runs just keeps seeming to widen. Or, like, that's a given, but, like, the amount of runs in the middle, like, the amount of runs, like, between Pipe 1 and Pipe 3 are getting less and less. Like, more and more of my runs are either terrible and don't go anywhere, or they're Pipe 3s or above. Honkai Star Rail! You speaking my language, at least kind of. I don't play turn-based RPGs, so I'm not doing that game. But I am doing Genshin Impact, as you know, and I've got my eye, at least, on Zenless Zone Zero, and, that other game, Wuthering Waves. I'm not even sure Wuthering is a real word, but, I know that's not Hoyoverse, but it's similar enough. I've seen footage of it. Oh, it is. Thank you. Heck! Oh, I almost got through it. 100 Pipe 2s. That was not nearly as grandiose sounding as I was hoping. Photons. It's a particle. It's a wave. It's both. Yeah, I'm not surprised that we're going to have 100 Pipe 3s not too long after 100 Pipe 2s. It's just how hard this section is. Come on already! Why do I not have, like, a way to do that regularly? Hey, 5,500. And one. Yes, we are officially worthy of basketball commentary. That's a joke. By the way, I may as well complain to you, Sarah B, that as much as I am absolutely enjoying the living crap out of Genshin Impact, I have 29 characters now, and only one of them is a waterbender. The game is trying so hard to avoid giving me waterbenders. Trying for, Ms. Nilu, but, both of my loot boxes so far have been Mommy Ningguang, Stella Fortuna, and, 9 crappy 3-star weapons. They're both carbon copies of one another. Like, as much as I enjoy receiving more of and increasing the power level of the luscious, glamorous pinnacle of womanhood, I do kind of want a waterbender. Like, seriously, once I get a waterbender, I think I'm good. That would be my 30th character. That's plenty, and I'd have at least 2 of each element. I'd be good. Like, anything from that point on is just a bonus. Complaining about Genshin Impact character distribution. This is the way! All those whining twits on Hoyoverse were right all along. Oh, heck me! Well, things from outside my bedroom are wafting into my nose. Weird thing is, I can't quite tell if that's tonight's dinner in the slow cooker again, or if Vanny just had another huge... I mean, that sounds like I just super insulted Bebop's cooking. I did not mean to. It's just that, like, I can barely detect the scent, so, like, I can't even tell if it's good or bad. No, the dinner in the slow... If you're actually close to it, it smells great. But because I got my door closed and my ceiling fan on, I can't tell if I'm smelling something good or bad. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's where we're at right now. That's going in the compilation. I ask you one more time, Nukem. Are you sure you want to play this? Because you know you're probably going to take longer than 38 hours. We've already gotten a barometer for your skill level, and also you are not the creator of this level. Oh, good God. I don't know what to say. It sounds like... It sounds like... Wait, why did I go twice? It sounds like I'm King Kai, and you're Kakarot, and I'm telling you, whatever you do, don't try to fight Frieza. He will one-shot you. I mean, unless you happen to have a ridiculous Zenkai boost, and turn into a Super Saiyan while you're at it. Oh, there's that mystery scent again. You know what? I think I figured out what it is. That is the stench of discovery! Of course I died in the first jump. What's wrong with me?
It's amazing how every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot! What are you doing?
Yo, he got the triple. He got the hard part. Go, Xavier. Ew, you watch Big Brother? Apparently Beast Needle Zero likes Big Brother. Ooh, good. Five, 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 five. I'm still having a good time. Yeah, I want these to feel like 4-hour vlogs. Me and the boys at Beast Needle Zero. And meanwhile, everybody on Twitter will call me a sexist piece of for calling it that. And then it'll be like, well, yeah, forget you, Twitter. That's why I left you. Of course, I say that even though Sarah B is here and she's a female. She's not one of the boys. Revile Dodgers champs because your league has 2 other big Dodgers fans. They're a popular team. And apparently even Yago likes them. Ah, that death's not unprecedented. But it's really annoying. For another 92 minutes. Well, you know what to do, Xavier. Get that single. We very well might have 100 pipe 3s by the end of the stream. They might even overtake the pipe 2s. Well, if he's up third, then that means we know for a fact he will get a swing at it. Stupid B-switch again. Hello. Okay, things are getting serious. Oh, crap! I couldn't tell if that fireball would hit the block or not, so I tried to avoid it. Turns out I didn't have to. I don't know why I didn't just, you know, go backwards. Ugh. That stings. Xavier Sedwards. Xavier Squidwards.
You got it! I can't believe it. You're incredible!
Nice! Someone hit the cycle in the middle of my Beast Needle Zero stream. Of course, the awkward thing is, now I'm very content with this level again, and I don't feel like I need to take another break with Pizza Tower. But I still should, just because the Olympics are on. I don't want to miss too much of those. As I've heard that that's like generic kids movie 101, you know, silly cash grab, the usual stuff. It worked. They grabbed cash. Nice. Nope, not yet, not yet. One step at a time. Pipe 4! I didn't repeat the same mistake as last time. And I jumped right into that. That's still a pipe 4. I'll take those. I'll never be upset about a pipe 4. Whoa! The Super Cycle. Or the Cycle Plus. Oh, Kai Jinhan. Oh, crap. Yeah. Oh. Well, we're definitely not going to see Pipe 3's overtake Pipe 2's now. It's a good session. Take it easy. Get a little peek at section 6! I should have fallen back to the right again. Yeah, I'm rather ashamed that the only thing I know much about the Pokemon cartoons is that they have the greatest theme song of any cartoon ever, possibly, maybe. And that Ash gets younger and younger with each passing generation. Also, Brock really likes jelly donuts. And is not at all completely confusing them for onigiri. Like, at least the memes are getting to me, okay? Ah! Like I said, I've spread them all over Section 4 today. And I've even had a Pipe 4. Poop. Almost there, almost to 100. Capable of going on runs. Oh, good for them. Yay, 100's respectable. Actually, I shouldn't say that. What if it's a Pipe 4? Then 100 won't happen yet. Finally. Oh, I'm finally comfortable with that part. I think that's finally out of my head. Oh, don't jump there, you idiot! What was that? All you had to do was duck, and the pipe was right there. It might as well be a Donald M. That was pathetic. We're still adding to the board at the very end of the stream. That's a good sign going forward. Pipe 3. This is also setting a new record for stoppage time. One more deep run for the road. No, it's stoppage time. Pipe 4! I did it! I did squeeze another one out. Oh, come on! Oh, come on! Come on! You did the other come on this time. 2 minutes and 31 seconds of stoppage time. I'll be damned if that record gets broken. Alright. Thank you so much. Welcome to 40 hours of Beast Needle Zero. And another Pipe 4. Okay, this session was everything I wanted it to be. Got the stink of last session out of here. And hopefully for good.